Hello, I'm Clayton Burch, State Superintendent of Schools. This week I want to continue our conversations about reentry. I continue to thank Governor Jim Justice, State Board of Education, Dr. Clay Marsh, DHHR, National Guard, but this week I want to really put out a thank you to our 55 district leaders. They're working very hard to put together reentry plans using the guidance document which we provided. However, these plans are very fluid and have a lot of moving parts. Giving options to families is our number one priority. Targeting September 8th, we all want to know what are those options. There's options for coming back in live person into the building. There's options for virtual school, and there's talk of what is remote learning. And I want to clear up some of those terminologies this week. So schools right now are offering opportunities for families to come back in person. They've been doing surveys, and I want to thank you for the 60,000 West Virginians who filled out our survey of what their options they want. Many families want and need an in-person model, but it must be healthy and it must be safe. Working hand in hand with the governor and DHHR, we will make sure that counties that do open on September 8th for live learning will be safe, will be healthy. Now what that means is that counties may have options for blended models. That is staggered starts, multiple days, 5 days a week. But the idea is that children are live in the building. Second, there are many options around the state for virtual learning. Every county must have a virtual learning option. Now this means that technology and a means to access to the internet, whether it be through Wi-Fi, cell service, broadband, your local internet provider, is the ability to utilize technology to be full virtual. Sometimes that is self-paced, sometimes that is a live teacher broadcasting directly to you. In whatever case, the idea is that families have the opportunity to enroll in full virtual school. They complete the assignments at home through the internet, through technology. They are still enrolled as a public school child. They're still eligible for sports and extracurricular activities, and your school still receives funding for those students. Now the third option that we often hear is remote learning. Remote learning is very different. Remote learning could happen if the governor is forced to close schools due to a health concern. If community spread is unsafe for schools to be open, the governor could ask for schools to close just like they did in the spring, and those students that were part of live in-person learning would resort to remote learning, and that could look very different. We know that many of our families do not have access to technology, and that means the schools and teachers have to be prepared that if we go to remote learning, that could be paper packets, that could be different ways of accessing students and families. Each one of these options are very important to understand as you begin to think about the reentry to school. We want families to feel safe, we want families to feel secure, we want families to choose the best mode of education that fits their needs. In person, virtual, in the case of an emergency, it may be remote, but each one of those are options that every county is working on right now, and I cannot thank our district leadership enough for the work they're putting in. Each one of these county plans will be due to the Department of Education by August 14th, and in the meantime, I hope that you're reaching out, you're communicating with your schools, your teachers, your county leadership, and what plan works best for you. On behalf of the West Virginia Board of Education and Department of Education, thank you.